Hey everyone! As you read in the video thumbnail, you already know what is this video all about. This video will also help you decide the job that will suit to your playstyle. And before we start, I am an experienced player of Ragnarok Origin Korea server since the first day of its official release. And I played this game for more than 2 years, so I pretty much know everything up to the latest update. Without further ado, let's get started. The first tier list in the screen is the most free-to-play friendly jobs in the game. The first in the list is the High Priest. It's the most in-demand job in all of the game contents of the game. And since it's in demand, you won't have any trouble finding a party. It's also easy to build up. You just have to stock HP, be a tanky, and then increase the healing output of your character, then that's it. The next is the Whitesmith. Its job is to buff your ally, especially if you tag it to champions or Scene X, and it's also easy to build up. You just have to focus in one build up to the end game. The next job is the Paladin. Its role is to be a tank and you have to secure the safety of the priest in your party. It's also easy to build up, you just have to stack HP. Next are the jobs that you have to invest a little for their full potential. The first in the row is the Lord Knight. In the early months of the release, this is the only available job that can tank. In the mid-game, you will feel that it lacks damage. That is the time that the refinement will kicks in. The next is the High Wizard. It deals good amount of AoE damage, but the casting time is the hindrance. That is why you need to increase the refinement of your equipment to shorten the casting time of your skills. The next is the Professor. It's also easy to build up. It has high single target damage, and it all thanks to the double casting passive skill. The next is the Gypsy and Minstrel. As much as I want to put this in the top tier, even if it's easy to build up, and also a healer support, it lacks one thing, and that's the safety wall. So it's still better to choose High Priest than the Gypsy and Minstrel. The next is the Creator. It's also a good class, it's easy to build up, but the problem is you have to find a certain monsters that have high HP and high vitality, so you can easily one-shot using acid demonstration. Another problem, it has high cast delay after using acid demonstration. The bottom jobs are literally not for free-to-play players. The Assassin Cross has 2 daggers. They can also use Qatar, but the highest damage that they can do are by using 2 daggers. As for the snipers, in the early months of the game, they don't deal good output damage. They will only shine when the game reaches the end game. As for champions, to be an efficient damager, they heavily invest in both cards, refinement, and MP stats. And lastly, the Stalkers. Even though they have a great Agi-type auto-attack build, its damage is worse compared to the Blitz-type Agi-crit auto-attack of snipers. Even if you invest more in raising its refinement, it's still better to choose the other jobs. The next job tier list is about the early game, and it's around level 1 to level 70 before the Transcendence change job. There is no doubt that the Priest will still be the job to be useful. Assuming that the global server will follow the roadmap of the previous servers, then only the first batch of the Transcendence jobs will be available. Those are the Lord Knight, High Priest, Sniper, Assassin Cross, Whitesmith, and High Wizard. Next are the Wizard and Knight. Wizards are the crowd control damager, and they can use the safety wall to itself and to allies. On the other hand, Knight's role will be the tank and damager, while blacksmiths are good crowd control damager, and they're also quite tanky. For assassins and hunters, in the early game, they deal low output damage, but some book runs or in the Helheim, assassins will be useful as they can skip the area from the start up to the boss area. You can check in this video how useful they can be for being a skipper. Now, the next job tier list is about mid-game, and it's at level 70 to level 110. As the level increases, every job can now build a different playstyle, and it's also thanks to the Veruscore feature combined with a specific weapon. In example, a High Priest. They can now choose between a full healer support, or a Damager Magnus build. Another is the Lord Knight. It has multiple builds. It can choose Auto Bash type, Agi Crit normal attack type, Spiral Pierce build, and so on. But in this tier list, I rank them in their most common build. The first in the row are the High Priest full support build and tank build Paladin. The next row are the Lord Knight Spiral Pierce build, High Wizard's Gravitational build, Whitesmith's Buffer and Cart Revolution build, then the Sage Double Casting. The third row are the Assassin's Cross Dual Dagger Crit build, Champion's Asura Strike, Gypsy and Minstrel Healer Support build. The bottom row are the Alchemist Acid Demonstration build, Sniper's Auto Blitz and Crit Auto Attack build, and lastly, the Stalker's Auto Attack build. But this mid-game tier list may change. It all depends if the global server will early release the Veroscore R series. It's the fourth tier of Veroscore that can drastically change the meta of the game. This tier list is about endgame. It's about at level 110 up to the present level 130 plus in Korea server. At this level, every job can now utilize the status points as they can max the 3 primary status that a job needed. Another is, the game now has a lot of extra stats to get from refinement, smelting, medals, Valkyrie feathers, and more. Also in this tier list, I rank these jobs from their overwhelming build. As usual, High Priest full support build is still in the top. The next row is the Champion's Asura Strike build. In example, a well-built champion can now one-shot most of the Helheim runs. Endless Tower from floor 1 to floor 50 and can easily last hit the MVP bosses. Next is the Assassin's Cross Dual Dagger Crit build. A well-built Assassin Cross can now shred most of the enemies in just a few seconds. Next are the Sniper's Sharpshooting build, Whitesmith's Cart Revolution build, Sage's Single Target Double Casting build, and Paladin's Sacrifice build. The next row is the High Wizard's Gravitational build. The next row are the Lord Knight's Spiral or Auto Attack Crit build, Minstrel and Gypsy's Full Support build, then the Creator's Acid Demonstration build. And lastly is the Stalker Auto Attack build or the Backstab build. In the end, it's still up to you to choose if you will follow this tier list. The best advice that I can give is to play the job that you really wanted. I also made a level up guide videos and some guides of job builds. You can check that in the video description box. So yeah, that's all for now. I'm out. Please give this video a thumbs up and stay tuned for more. Peace out!